What's going to happen in part 2? It's been a roller coaster behind the scenes, but we finally got a sneak peek into the chaos, all thanks to a behind-the-scenes featurette the cast and crew just dropped. This little teaser is a gift to fans who've been waiting forever for the next part of Season 5, and trust us, the excitement is real. So the team has been on a pretty long break between the first part of Season 5 and what's coming next, and you can just feel how pumped they are to get back to work. They've been itching to bring these final episodes to life, and it's about time, right? Even Luke Grimes, who plays the one and only Casey Dutton, got super emotional talking about it. And by emotional, we mean actual tears. Luke's been dropping hints that this next chapter is going to hit us right in the feels. He's talking drama, action, and yeah, lots of tears. So if you've been emotionally invested in the Dutton family's saga from the start, you better be prepared for a serious roller coaster ride. But let's be honest, Yellowstone has always had that emotional punch, and it sounds like they're taking it to a whole new level this time. One person who's been giving us a little inside scoop is Christina Voros, one of the directors. She said that while it's been like a big family reunion on set, there's this whole challenge of figuring out how to continue the story in a completely new way without Kevin. And get this, they've been so secretive about everything that the actors are only being given redacted scripts. Yep, they can only see their own lines, and the rest is totally blacked out. So even the cast has no idea what's going on in the bigger picture. Denham Richards, who plays Colby, said that this secrecy is actually bringing out some super real, raw reactions from the actors because they're basically in the dark about what's happening with the other characters. So whatever's about to go down, you can bet it's going to feel really authentic on screen. Now, let's talk about who's back for this final stretch. We've got all the usual suspects: Luke Grimes as Casey, Kelly Riley as the fiery Beth Dutton, Cole Hauser as Rip Wheeler, Wes Bentley as the oh-so-complicated Jamie Dutton, Kelsey Asby as Monica, and Gil Birmingham as Chief Thomas Rainwater. Even without Kevin, there's no shortage of talent in this cast, and they are ready to bring it. Kelly Riley in particular seems super excited for what's to come. She's been teasing fans on Instagram, posting sneak peeks from the iconic Yellowstone ranch. While she hasn't given away any spoilers, you can totally feel her excitement in every post. It's like she's just as hyped as we are to see how things play out. Remember that teaser we got on August 25th? That's when Paramount Network finally gave us the first look at what's coming in Season 5, Part 2. And from the looks of it, things are about to get intense. November 10th, 2024 is going to be the day when all the drama explodes at the Dutton Ranch. In the teaser, we saw Rip loading his rifle and storming into the main house like he's just discovered something huge. If you think back to all the drama from Part 1, you can't help but wonder if this has something to do with Jamie and the whole mess about Beth's infertility. I mean, the tagline was, "Generations of blood have led to this," which says it all. We're about to see 5.5 seasons worth of tension, betrayal, and family drama come to a boiling point. Speaking of Beth and Jamie, their sibling rivalry is about to really explode. These two have been at each other's throats for years, and it's all coming to a head. And with John gone, there's nothing left to stop them. It's going to be a no-holds-barred battle between the Dutton family's black sheep and his fiery sister. Let's be real, Jamie has done a pretty good job of sabotaging himself over the years, but now that John's out of the picture, it feels like anything could happen. If you remember how Part 1 ended, John and Beth had already decided that it was time for Jamie to take a one-way trip to the train station. Meanwhile, Jamie and his partner in crime, Sarah, were busy plotting their own accident for their enemies, one that would leave no room for recovery. With Kevin Costner stepping away from the series, we're all left wondering what's going to happen to John Dutton when Part 2 kicks off. Could John already be gone when the new episodes start? And if so, who else might be on the chopping block? There's so much to speculate about with John's absence. At the end of Part 1, we were primed for the ultimate showdown between Beth and Jamie, and John was the only one who could have stepped in to stop it. But now? With him potentially out of the picture, there's nothing holding them back. It's about to be a free-for-all, and Casey probably won't be able to do much to stop the chaos either. Every Dutton is going to be out for themselves, and it's gonna get messy. But before all that goes down, we've got to figure out what happened to John. He's always been the rock of the family, fiercely protecting the ranch and refusing to sell it, no matter how intense the financial pressure got. He's always said it was because of a promise he made to his father. So how is the show going to handle his absence? The most obvious theory is that John dies, but that's still just speculation at this point. Either way, the show is going to have to address its fate right away, and fans are on the edge of their seats waiting to see how it plays out. Despite all the drama behind the scenes, production for these final episodes seems to be moving full speed ahead. With the release date getting closer, we could be seeing an official first look at the new season any day now. But the big question is, will there be any footage of Kevin Costner's John Dutton? That's still up in the air, and we're all dying to know if we'll get one last glimpse of him before the series wraps up. Now, let's talk about Beth. She's been through so much over the past 5 seasons. Emotional and physical trauma, fierce loyalty to her family, especially to her father, and yet she's still standing strong. In many ways, she's more like John than her brothers ever were. With John potentially gone, Beth's about to step into the biggest fight of her life. Her conflict with Jamie has been building and building, and there's no way this ends peacefully. If John does die, it's going to push Beth over the edge. And Jamie? Well, he might just find himself in her crosshairs, especially if she suspects him of having anything to do with their father's death. Beth also got her own little family with Rip and their adoptive son Carter. She's more protective than ever, and honestly, she's only getting more dangerous. Anyone who threatens her family is going to feel her wrath, and you just know that these final episodes are going to be explosive. So what about Yellowstone's future? The flag show might be ending, but there's already talk of a spin-off called The Madison. We've got some big names attached to the cast: Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Fox from Lost, and Suits star Patrick J. Adams. But there's still no word on whether some of our Yellowstone favorites, like Kelly Riley, Luke Grimes, or Cole Hauser, will be part of it. Before we dive into what's coming next, let's not forget what happened in Part 1 of Season 5. A recap of it all. John Dutton became the governor of Montana, which was a huge deal. But guess what? He absolutely hated it. He's been fighting government interference for the whole series, and now that he's the one in charge, he's battling against the same political system he despises. He only ran for office to protect Montana's land from outsiders, and while he managed to temporarily align with his longtime rival, Thomas Rainwater, the drama was off the charts. The season also gave us some intense moments between Beth and Summer Higgins, the environmental activist John got out of prison. Beth wasn't exactly thrilled to have Summer living under their roof, and their tension boiled over into a literal fight. And then there's Beth and Rip, our favorite power couple. They're finally married and settling into life together, even taking in a teen runaway, Carter, as their surrogate son. Things were looking good for them, but you know Yellowstone drama is never far behind. Meanwhile, Jamie's been making all the wrong moves, as usual. He's teamed up with Sarah Atwood, a lawyer sent to bring down the Duttons, and by the end of Part 1, he's ready to launch an impeachment inquiry against John. Jamie's trying to take down his own father, and this family feud is about to hit new heights when Part 2 kicks off. Fan reactions. The announcement about Costner leaving left fans in their feelings. People are genuinely heartbroken. A fan posted on their account saying, "Mr. Dutton, you broke my heart today." And that's just one of many reactions. Fans are really feeling the loss. In many ways, it's totally understandable why people are upset. One fan summed it up perfectly, saying, "No, Kevin, Yellowstone won't be the same without you. You truly made the show. My wife and I looked forward to each week to watch you." It really shows how much of an impact Kevin had on people. And then you've got others like this fan who said, "I will not be watching then. I'm totally heartbroken." It's just devastating for some fans who've been so attached to seeing Costner on their screens every week. Some fans were actually angry, with one of them saying they might as well not even continue Season 5 because no one could ever replace you. People are really feeling like Yellowstone just won't be the same without him. It's like when your favorite character leaves the show, and suddenly everything feels off. And here's the thing. While some fans are totally heartbroken, Others are really supportive and excited for Kevin's next big project, Horizon. A fan said it best, "It's their loss, Kevin. You had an amazing run with the show. Seasons 1 to 3 were amazing, but you belong at the movies." Fans like this are sad to see him go, but also totally hyped to see him dive into his passion projects. It also sounds like Kevin's very excited about what's coming next. One fan even said, "Your entry into this life chapter is formidable. Enjoy the ride," which really sums up how some people are feeling. It's bittersweet. On the one hand, we're losing John Dutton, but on the other hand, we get to see Kevin chase his dreams with Horizon. So while this is the end of an era for Yellowstone, it's also the start of something super exciting for him. And here's where things get really interesting. Just because Kevin is leaving doesn't mean John Dutton is completely gone. Josh Lucas, who plays the younger version of John, has been dropping some hints about making a comeback. How wild would it be if young John played a big role in these final episodes? It could totally add a whole new layer to the story. And honestly, I'm here for it. So yeah, Kevin Costner's departure is a little heartbreaking, but there's still so much to look forward to.